Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This time I bring in my girlfriend as a co star, and I'm interested in how the how the darn I got her into anime because she does not like Japanese. She thinks it's an ugly language, and she's those types of cartoon stuff. That's not what she watched. So when I said anime is very important to me, she was really skeptical.
Yeah.
And I had bad experiences from my last relationship where I showed the anime that meant a lot to me to my girlfriend, and she said, "You're into big boobs. You're into anime boobs," and then she judged me. So I didn't expect anything good to come from this relationship at all.
Hey, did you not expect anything good to come from our relationship at
no,
all?
no, 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 not at all. And that's why
Wow.
that's why I was reserved, but I took a leap of faith, and then I showed you what's important to me.
Yeah, but the reason why I wanted to watch it was because you explained first why it was important to you. So there's a lot of key things that you could do to get your girlfriend to like the anime that you watch. One thing is that Christian shared a very personal story with me about what this anime had meant to him when he was a teenager. I think was it when you were a teenager or
No,
later?
no,
No, later on in your
yeah,
life. Yeah, but anyway, a specific time period in his life, this anime was very important, and it made me think about how critical role is very important to me because I was going through a rough time, and a good friend of mine showed me a D&D critical role. And so we talked a bit about that, and then Christian could pitch to me that this anime called Danmachi, or how to is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? That it's about D&D, and it's about how they can go on adventures and do the what's it called in English, the
dungeon.
yeah, dungeon crawls.
Yeah,
That's what they actually do. So I was like, okay, it sounds like it's within some other interests that I have, so maybe we can share that. And then we started watching it. And I mean, now he's got a girlfriend who has big boobs, so I'm not that offended with that part of anime.
yeah. Um,
And Hestia, come on, she's so adorable. She just wants to, Well, I mean, she's also a creeper because she really like is maybe her relationship with Bill is kind of weird, but yeah, whatever. We like her.
yeah. Um, it's it has some weird sexual vibes, but lots of anime has that, and you have to live with that as an
Yeah.
anime fan. Think of Netflix. It's also a lot of weird sexual tension nowadays. So
Yeah.
it's not just anime.
Yeah, that's another part of it. Like, you should think about what your girlfriend likes to watch or read or whatever she's into, because I watch a lot of crap on Netflix that's even worse with sexual tension or whatever. So, I mean, who am I to judge what's going on in anime universes? And also, what was it I was thinking about? I think it's just about respecting each other. I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone, they really should try to make an honest effort to find out what's important to you. And I'm the kind of girl who always really, really likes what the man I'm with really likes, especially in the beginning. So one of the um, uh, pointers, or I don't, I'm not used to speaking in English. I'm not used to being on YouTube, so I'm sorry. I'm not as smooth as this guy, but one of the things I can pass on is that in the beginning of a relationship, I'm more likely to excuse me, to say, yeah, I want to do that. I want to watch that with you. Yeah, I care about it as well because I care about you. Stuff like that. And then later on, maybe I tend to be like, we always watch your stuff. Why don't you want to watch one of my series? Like this guy, it took him almost 10 months of relationship before he wanted to watch. He managed to finish watching the whole movie, my favorite romantic chick flick.
Yeah.
Yeah, took you a long time. But I've watched all of Danmachi with him. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think girls are better at pretending to like or like it. It's different, but for me, I get really invested in.
But wouldn't you say there's like a stigma against nerdy boys, things that are nerdy and not many girls wouldn't if it's not mainstream or on Netflix. Then they think, okay, that's weird, or they don't like cartoons because that's not adult, or
Yeah. So of course there's these weird people that think that's anime is only for children, but I mean, most adults I know have now, at least, or young adults now, have tried to watch an animated movie or some Disney version of something that's not. I mean, even Avatar is not just real people. I know that they have been filming and then putting
CGI.
Yeah, CGI on it, but it's not that weird anymore to watch something like that. Cartoons are getting more popular as well between adults, but I think that for me, like, one of the hurdles is that it can be hard to find these things legally, and that's a thing that some girls like me find difficult, because there's so many streaming services now where I'm like, well, I pay for all these, so why don't we just watch some of the things that are on here?
Also, I know that some girls are dissuaded by if you click on free anime sites, sometimes it will pop up and it will show male porn, and they kind of don't want to watch that, so they just stop watching anime.
And then that's a really good point, because I'm sure that for many other girls as well, for me, anime, when men say they're into anime, it's easy to think, well, okay, so maybe you're just into some kind of weird fetish, or maybe you're this normal, not normal, but well, I guess normal, but very standard guy who's into Asian women, and then if the girl you want to watch it with are not Asian, maybe she's like, well, but that's not how I look, and then they get very insecure, because, you know, us girls get insecure about a lot of things. But yeah, so I think it's important to clear out what it's about. What, like for instance, you said your ex-girlfriend, she couldn't get past the fact that there were very big boobs in the anime series that you liked. And for me, I've understood, because I've seen a bit before. I've understood that that's kind of just the game, you know, like there's a lot of sex in many movies and series, and I don't want to watch that because I don't care about porn or stuff like that. I'm not into that, so I don't like it, but I've learned to just, you know, accept that that's part of the series of movies I like, and in the same way there's stuff about anime, so maybe that's a way to explain it to your girlfriend. And I what was it? So I mean, I trusted Christian. He said it wasn't an important anime to him, and he explained to me why, which is very personal. So I'm not getting into that now, but then it's just giving it a chance. And I would say that Danmachi is very good and funny starter for women, because there's an interesting story. I mean, fantasy is very popular these years, and many women are into Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and stuff like that, and Game of Thrones. So I mean, going into an anime universe that's also with fantasy, like D&D, that would be a good start. And also because Bill is just, you know, he's a hero, like Christian is my hero, so that's very relatable.
Yeah, but you're very different from my ex-girlfriend and reacted very differently. But you watched an anime too when you were a kid. With
Yeah. I've been wanting to say that to you guys. So, I have been used to anime with animals in it because I watched Weed or Silver Fang. It's about this puppy called Silver, and I think it's Japanese as well.
Hmm?
I watched it with Danish sound because I was a kid and I'm from Denmark. But we could, like, I sang the intro song in Japanese when I was a kid. Like, we learned it, how you as a kid learn something and don't really get what you're saying and all that. But anyway, I love that series a lot, very very much. It's about dogs hunting bears to protect human beings, and I think because I was in love with you, I tried to think, okay, well, that's an anime I do love, so I don't hate all of it. And also, I hope for you that maybe in a year or two from now, we can make a video that's about how you made me love Asian culture or Japanese culture, because as Christian, no, I'm not very much into that. But I guess being interested in anime and seeing what that branch can do for you, that is very different from movies with human beings. Maybe that could be a stepping stone for me to see other good things that's coming from Japan and Asia in general.
And now we've watched Danmachi, but I'd also like to watch Naruto with you. I feel that's obligatory.
Yeah, so I have watched a bit of Naruto with another guy a few years back, and he was so really good at pitching it and trying. Like I showed him Critical Role, and then he showed me Naruto, but then he told me how many hours of episodes that's there, which is the same almost with Critical Role, which I've watched, but I was like, that's just, it's way too much. I can never I can never finish that. That's very overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
But I do understand, even though I'm a novice in this, I understand that Naruto is very important. Yes.
Yeah, I like Naruto.
Would you think that would be the first to start with, actually, for most people?
Well, my story with anime is that my dad gave me a Dragon Ball book, Dragon Ball manga, when I was 6 years old, and we played around with Pokemon cards, which are also kind of Dragon Ball anime like.
Oh yeah, I watched that a bit.
You watched Pokemon, and then I also got into One Piece and this big anime. I also read something that was more male fantasy, like the Demon Q or something. But I grew up with anime, and to me it was usually more interesting to watch comics on an anime on TV than what people usually watch or what's mainstream. So I just find it more interesting. But those series have spoken more to me. So at one point I was depressed and I lived pretty isolated, and then I found Danmachi, and it's really embarrassing. But the way that Bell was a hero made me want to be a better man. So I kind of got through a depression by watching Danmachi and wishing to overcome my obstacles like he did. And
but
also,
that's not embarrassing.
Also, it corresponded with some of my Christian beliefs, because I like a Christian verse from the Bible that says, "Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God." So Bell is pure of heart, and that's part of what makes him special. And I felt like a way out of my depression was to be holy, in a sense, because then I'd see something special about God, the radiance of the glory of God. But yeah, that's so I also had a religious interpretation of it or application, and I think One Piece also really has inspired hope in me at many times. So I have an emotional connection to all of these anime that I've watched, and I have lots of relationships that are about where a common denominator is anime. So it's really good to if you're in my situation to know how to get your girlfriend on that wagon to understand that part of you. Mm.
And that story you just shared is why I wanted to give it a serious chance with this Danmachi series, because it really got to me how much it has saved or helped Christian to watch it, and it reminded me of my own story of how sometimes, like for me, Critical Role was a true lifesaver in a period that was very dark for me, and I had very little hope and very little wish to go on in this life. And then I had a very good friend who actually I had a friend who introduced me to Critical Role, which is just watching live other people playing D&D, which is like when Christian is watching other people playing computer games. But anyway, I my friend told me how one thing was the friendship between the characters in the D&D universe that the Critical Role created, and another thing was the family friendship with the voice actors who were doing the characters, and that helped me get through a lot, because they go through a lot of emotions and despair and heartache and stuff like that. So sometimes for me, like music or art, watching other people act the feelings or depression or whatever I am feeling helps me deal with what's going on inside of me, and it helps me not to feel alone. And I think one of the very beautiful things about anime and the community that many geeky or nerdy guys have is that many of you guys or us have felt alone at some point in our lives, and then maybe Bill or somebody else becomes our friend, and the one who holds our hand, maybe that's not a mainly expression, but somebody who walks on the adventures with us and helps us fight the demons in our lives. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great communities, and actually quite a few women also who are part of. I'm part of Anime Aarhus, and yeah. I remember I spoke to Emilie, who was the leader of a group in Anime Aarhus, and I told her about how my ex-girlfriend didn't like the thing about the boobs, and she was like, "Yeah, I understand that, but you just have to get past that." So I think there's some barriers. Many anime are oriented towards men. Like I noticed that more and more when I'm with watching series with a girlfriend, that some series are marketed for men and some are marketed for women, and it's and you think it's annoying that that's not marketed for me, but then you noticed, okay, something else is marketed for me. um, but yeah, but then yeah.
But I think, I mean, we watch a series on Netflix where it's fun for you to watch it with me, because you see a lot of new things, even though you watched it many times before, but because I have the female gaze on it instead of the male gaze. So
Yeah.
there's, like, I think we found out that can be quite fun, and it can make us see new things. And it's the same with Danmachi, that I really like it. And for me, it was about understanding a very important part of Christian's journey in life, and in his building his character and forming his faith and stuff like that. And then so in the beginning I watch it to understand you, but then I mean Bill is surrounded with women, with girls who needs to be saved, so it's kind of fun to watch as a girl because he's just this hero. Everybody loves him and trusts him. Everybody falls in love with him, wants to be his girlfriend, stuff like that. And obviously it's a fun and cute thing to watch as a boy and girlfriend, because then I can be like, oh, you're my Belle, you saved me, you're my hero, let's go on an adventure together, and I believe that you can fight all the bad guys and, you know, protect me against the villains. So that's very cute and amazing. So I think it's a good thing. Just talk to your girlfriend about how it's a good thing that you see things differently, and it's marketed for maybe men or women, but then yeah, it can be very fun to watch it when it's not marketed for you.
Yeah, I think so too. And there are also anime who's not like that. For instance, Pokemon, not so much. It's
And also Death Note. I actually did watch Death Note by myself without any.
Oh, you haven't told me.
I have, but we keep forgetting it when we talk about this.
A very important thing to watch.
Yeah, like my brother just. So, okay, so the thing is that maybe I'm an easier girlfriend in some ways because I have 3 brothers and no sisters. So I grew up with a lot of boyish interests. And my brother, my younger brother, he keeps suggesting computer games, PlayStation games, and series and animes and different things that I should watch or play or do. And it's not until some guy I like says the same that I start doing it. So I'm sorry, Carsten, but that's just, you know, how girls work sometimes. Yeah, but anyway, he suggested me to watch Death Note, and that was actually very hilarious for me. And that's a big part of your anime story as well when you were a child.
Death Note is quality, right? It's
that's not. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Everybody has.
We need to watch something called Code Geass, which is a superior version of Death Note.
Yeah, you showed me a bit of it in the beginning of our relationship. I liked it, but I mean, at that time. We were battling a bit. Like, I really liked Death Note, and Christian was like, this is better, and I was like, but this one is the original, so you can't say, like, it's so much the same, those two. So we were battling who was copycatting who.
It's like, I like Lelouch, Lamperouche better than Light Yagami, so it's just the main character I think I prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't think...
We should watch more of that. I'm ready for that now. I just finished watching Death Note, I think, before we met each other, maybe, so I was a bit more hyped about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good example of some that's more
But don't watch the videos after season 1 and 2. They're fake. I don't like them. Okay. Just putting it out there.
It's good.
But yeah, so it's important to show common interests and also to have a great story to tell your girlfriend about why it's important to you.
Yeah, that's what helped me to get into anime at least.
Okay, then I think I'll call it quits for this video. Please let me know if you like having Christina around here in my channel. I like her and she wants to be a part of this, but if you prefer only to have me, then that's then tell me, because I'm here for you guys.
And I totally get that as well. Like I know that you're way more professional than me and more used to this, and it's been fun for me to be a part of this, and I'd love to come again, but I just hope that you guys will be honest about what you prefer.
Well, recently my channel isn't that big, but there's been some growth, and perhaps people will have greater interest in this, and if there's interest in my channel, I might become more active, and we might talk about how you get your girlfriend into Japanese culture. Not that I'm super nerdy, but we might talk about how to make your girlfriend more nerdy.
Exactly.
and we might also include other examples than just us, and
Yeah.
get some testimonies as to how to get the girlfriends into the right place.
Yeah.
But
Or how to get a girlfriend could also be a topic,
no,
like you guys decide.
I don't want to do a dating channel.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's it for today. Please smash the like button, comment and subscribe, and if you feel like it, please share this video with your community, with your girlfriend who might relate to Christina, and this might be, sharing this video with your girlfriend might be the way to convince her.
We hope so, at least. I'm not sure.
If you can't tell the right story, if you can't speak to common interests, then the third option is sharing this video.
Yeah, and then I can just say for the girls out there in the end here that I suggest that you try to do this and watch the things that the guy you like or the boyfriend you have, what's important for them. So give it a chance, because I've actually learned a lot from that match. So yeah.
Okay. See you guys around.
Bye.